guys, this is Jeff Foos. Right off the top, as you could tell, that was super loud. And you can't always play like that everywhere you play. In fact, not most places, unless you're playing like outdoors at like a music festival or some kind of just big outdoor open gig. But today, the reason I wanted to talk about this topic is because we played at a gig this 2 weekends ago, I think, that I was at in town here, and with my band Strums and Drums, and the sound guy wanted me to play really soft, and it's challenging, but in a good way. So I just wanted to show you how, since you can't play that way I opened the video with for most gigs, I just wanted to show you how to like substitute that. And actually, there's some ways that I played differently at the gig than I would have if I was playing loud. So that got me to kind of thinking about different ways that you could do it and still be effective. And you can still build too pretty dynamically and fully, even though you can't build too loud. And that was one of the things I was worried about when he asked me to play soft, that the builds wouldn't come across as well. But you can really still build well and musically to fit in with the rest of your band when you're at a gig like that. So instead of playing, and you could, with the hi-hat, you can even play it open, but if you play things on top of the hi-hat, so I'll open it just a little bit, and if you play like this, it still sounds full and sustaining, but it's not loud and it won't blast people's eardrums. So instead of playing real big and on the side, if you play on top, you can still get a pretty full groove going. And then the snare and the cymbals are obviously the loudest thing on your kit. So if you play the open hi-hat on top, and then if you kind of either play on top of the crashes, or you can play on the side with the edge, but just kind of swipe it, you can still play pretty dynamically and still get a full sound. And then with the snare, the main thing that's the killer on that is rim shots. So if you don't play the rim shot, which for anybody that doesn't know, a rim shot is where you play the snare and the rim at the same time with the shoulder of the stick again. So like that, instead of going like that, if you hit dead center, or when I was playing at the gig, I actually hit off center, and you can still play a small rim shot, you just wouldn't come up as high. So I kind of went back and forth between both, depending on the style of song that we were playing. And then the kick, I didn't smash it either. I just played pretty lightly with it. So altogether, a groove like that with open hi-hat, either little or no rim shot, and then just easing up on the kick a little bit would sound like this. So that's a big difference from this. So, and also, like, your ghost notes on the snare are soft anyway, so even if you still have those with a soft snare hit on 2 and 4, it'll still add a lot. So if you play like this kind of thing, really soft, that'll still be really effective, even though your snares hits, your backbeats aren't that much louder than the ghost notes now. It still fills it out and makes it sound musical. So, and then when you hit the crash at the end of the fill, like I said, you can either hit the top or just swipe the side if you want more of a full crash sound. And that, again, depends on the dynamic and the style of the song. a lot of songs that we played at this past gig, I just hit the top of the crash or even the ride coming out of a fill. So like and that works really well in a low volume situation because it sounds big. From the stage, I was like, is this translating very well? But I really think because it's a small venue, it'll sound like a big crash when you're in a room like that. So I think that's really important to remember. It'll sound loud even though it doesn't to you up on the stage. And it makes it a lot easier on the sound guy. And also, I detuned my snare a lot. So that really helps too. I don't have a detuned snare here, but you can even use something on the drum to muffle it because the ring of the snare is what's really making it crack when you play full volume. So, and even at a soft volume. So if you put, just something, I don't really have much here. I don't know if this will make much of a difference, but it kind of moves. But that deadens it a lot. So it's just a bottle of water. But so, and even if you play loud on that, it'll still sound pretty dead and low. So there's no extra ring. So bottles of water aren't just to drink. They're for muffling if you literally have nothing else. But a lot of people use like a t-shirt or a wallet. That's a real popular one. Or of course like the drum manufacturer stuff like Moon Gels or drum gum. So if you and I didn't even detune anything when I put the bottle of water. So if you tune it lower also, that'll also help your sound cut back on the ring and stuff. So and then the only other thing I wanted to talk about today is builds on the drums. So normally when you can play more full volume, you start pretty soft and you can get obviously pretty loud. So you might start real soft like this and then gradually get loud. So, and that's, like I said at the top of the video, that's what I was worried about, that my builds wouldn't sound as dynamic as when I could play a little fuller volume, but they actually did. So this is what I ended up doing. I basically, and especially if your drums are sensitive enough, even if you're playing super soft, it will translate well at a small venue. So I started probably even softer than I normally would, like this. So, and that doesn't sound like a lot, especially because I'm not playing with a band right now, but it translated and it really fit and worked effectively in the venue we were playing at. So so there's little things like that you can do to make a big difference. And then like also this would go with dynamics. So you don't want to play loud on the cymbals and like a real ringy snare in a small venue, but you can still hit the toms harder. So that just takes a little bit of control to play those things softer and the toms louder. Because the sound guy said to me, actually, you can still hit your toms pretty loud and hard. So what I ended up doing was something like this. Just kind of crescendo up to the toms, and even like if you're playing a tom groove, you can still hit the floor tom or small tom harder. So like that. So those are just some helpful hints that I hope help you a lot, like they do me, when you're playing in small venues. And even in a bigger venue, like I know most things you can be over the top and loud, but it's still good to know some dynamics, just in general to use while you're playing with any band. So I hope that helps, and I hope that you'll try that the next time. If you've been getting complaints about your cymbals or your snare, sometimes, you know, you can still play pretty full volume if you have like something to muffle and detune the snare a little in most settings. But if you absolutely have to play quiet, I would just say, you know, just playing real soft, just not thinking about bringing your arms up to play. It's mostly just a wrist and almost finger control thing at that soft a volume. So I hope that helped, and you can leave a comment below and tell me if it helped, if you try it out at your next soft playing gig. So and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks for watching.